Alrighty, hello and good afternoon, YouTube. Almost said evening, but it's really technically it's late afternoon. And welcome to another news update video. So this won't be a long one. I did promote this on my MarkOliverasOnYT TikTok page. If you want to follow that, link is in the description. So I'm only here to talk about maybe three major subjects, as well as wish a happy Jeremy Mayfield 19th birthday to my best friend, my A1 since day one. February 14th, 2017, a day before my Kenny Wallace 23rd birthday, Brynnley, which we met and became best friends on Valentine's Day. What was the Valentine's shit show, which made it the worst Valentine's Day of my life. I still went to Murray Ridge before the pandemic, so therefore go subscribe to her channel, link in the description. When I called her, when she was, I told her how I was feeling about David Arnold's sudden passing. I brought up her YouTube channel, how she actually says she forgot she had that channel, but I reminded her of the fact that many years ago, before the pandemic, she said that she wanted to subscribe to me so that way she could see my videos. Well, that's what she has been doing since then, and I told her if she started uploading videos, hell, she'd be that damn good at it, and she'd attract a lot of people in terms of subscribers, likes, comments, and whatnot. So let's campaign to get my best friend, my A1 since day one, Brynnley, letting her to start uploading YouTube videos, even if she doesn't make a career out of it for fun like I have. But anyway, that's beside the point. What I came on here to tell you, let's do three topics and what I think. So, well, first off, I'm going to get the important stuff out of the way. My grandmother just came out of the hospital, so therefore she's recuperating, currently here at home, recuperating from an illness that I sadly cannot share on the interwebs due to, privacy reasons. So if you could, send some prayer warriors up and lift her up in your spirit, she'll recuperate faster. Because as my neighbor Debbie Sorg told me after, when I went to her and the rest of the neighbors about David's passing, that after I got home on Thursday, only time heals wounds. So say a prayer for my grandmother, Virginia Plaza, and we'll hope for good news. So therefore, she just got out of the hospital today, so therefore prayers up for my grandmother. But okay, so now for the fun stuff. Manu Ginobili in the Hall of Fame. How about that? I know some people on my main TikTok account were asking me if I was going to go to that. Well, here's the thing. I'm all a San Antonio Spurs fan. I always will be until I take it to the grave. But the only reason why I went in 2021, despite originally planning to go in 2020 before COVID hit, was because it was my favorite Tim Duncan getting inducted. I love Manu and I love Tony when Tony gets in Hall of Fame, but don't get me wrong, I love every Spur that I've watched play for the last 25, 26 years outside of that number 2 nephew. But Tim Duncan will always be the favorite. And besides that in jersey number 2, not only do I not like him, he quitting on us, but also I don't like that king of bitching it up. I do not like that imposter and Bruce Bowen's number. I do not like the king of shitting it up. The one who, the king of bitching it up also stole the king of fucking it up's number. At least the king of fucking it up was actually pretty damn good. And so, back when I was an early teen and my later years on Lenore, you all know who that is. I did not like the king of shitting it up, as what we call the imposter and Tiago Splitter's number. Most important of all, I did not like the king of pissing it up. He was the absolute fucking worst between all of those, considering, after, Gary Neal and then Danny Green left, he took their number. So therefore, the only excuse we can make for any of the players that sucked in modern San Antonio times, modern Spurs days, is Trashinelli. At least the first version. I'll give Marco the benefit of the doubt, because at least the first version in 2013-14 and 14-15 contributed to a championship winning team in 13-14 and a contending team in 2014-15. So I don't want those people who will make that excuse for Marco, which was one of those rare excuses that are actually true. I don't want you to. I just do not want see you as okay. Tommy Hobson just liked my comment, so therefore it's his David Arnold tribute on Instagram. So that's why I sometimes get paused in sentences when I'm recording off the phone and push notifications that I get distracted by come up. But I get it. Marco contributed to a championship-winning team, but don't make you guys like Spurs fans and NBA fans and NBA and basketball fans in general sound like you're defending the second version of Marco, because you got to admit, as much as the first version of Marco contributed to a championship-winning championship team in 13-14 and a contending team in 14-15, even though we were not all that perfect in 14-15, what most people don't remember, which is a conversation to say for another day. You got to admit, the second version of Marco did suck. Not, I mean, 18-19, he was really bad, but 19-20, before the season was stopped, due to the shutdowns and the pandemic and whatnot and COVID, he was at his absolute worst. So that's why I'm glad we dumped his ass in that short-ass 2020 offseason, which caused us to start in October. When I was in no. I don't think we started in October. I think we started in December. The season started in December, and we did not get done, with the regulars. That's the first season of the play-in format. We did not get done with the regular season till May. We did not start the playoffs till June, and we did not get to the finals and crown the champions till July. It was probably one of the wackiest but yet most interesting seasons in NBA history. But that second version of Marco did suck. But the first version, I will give Marco the benefit of the doubt, and then comes to the first version. At least when he was younger, he contributed to a championship-winning team in San Antonio, and just a winning team that came up empty-handed the next year, which brought back everybody from the championship-winning team the year before, because they did all such a good job. So Pop said, everybody's coming back. The only newbie we're going to have is our rookie that we drafted, Kyle Anderson. But yeah, I remember those days like it was yesterday. It's like, wow, when I still lived in Brook Park in the Sandhurst house, like shortly before I came here to Ridgeville. It's like, wow. But anyway, yeah, so therefore, Ginobili's in the Hall of Fame. So therefore, I mean, every other Spur I love, except for those particular ones I just named, at least the second version of Marco, that is. I mean, the only reason I went to see Tim, because he was my favorite, and we've had more money on Tim's stuff more than any other San Antonio Spur that we've ever liked that was a good player and that we ever cheered for before, the ones that did not show the true colors that were always great people, but, yeah, so I was only a matter of time before Manu got there. Now, hopefully Tony Parker is next. So we got Robinson, we got the Iceman in there, the Admiral in there, the Big Fundamental in there, Grandpa Juice. Now it's TP9's turn. So I don't know when he's going to go. Well, he's been retired since 1920. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, you have to be retired for a maximum of 5 years. So 1920, 2021. So this will be his third year in retirement. 1920, 2021, 21, 22. So this will be his fourth year of retirement. And after 2023 and 2024, then Parker will be eligible. So I will make sure to make a news update video on that when the time comes. But kudos to Manu. I did meet him one time, as you could see right here.
Manu Ginobili!
Yep. That was me with Manu, February 13th, 2013, 2 days before I turned Jeremy Mayfield 19 years old, when the Spurs came here to Ohio to face the Cavs. I think what was the third year that the Cavs didn't have LeBron, when the nephew hit the game-winning three-point shot in the corner, and that was an awesome birthday gift where I got to see a game winner in person, and it was 2 days before my real birthday. And the fact that I met Manu, Matt Bonner, Boris Diaw when they were still here in San Antonio, and the fact that the big three were just coming back from their own injuries that they suffered like right before that game, considering Duncan got hurt, the same night Victorious got canceled. So, and a game that the Spurs did win, but holy crap. I mean, I feel old just talking about those days on Sandhurst and Brook Park, being at Berea High School, being a late teenager. Goodness gracious. I mean, wow. I mean, considering I didn't think that the Spurs were going to have the big three going in the game, because it was like right during the rodeo road trip, because I remember they had a nationally televised game against the Bulls on NBA TV where like the whole bench had to step up, although second fiddle players had to step up with Tim, Tony, and Manu out, and they still somehow won. I mean, that was back when, the modern Spurs were in their prime. The modern Spurs days were in the prime of its era. I'm not saying the players were in their prime. I'm talking about about that era of modern Spurs basketball is its prime, where even though Duncan, Parker, and Ginobili were all getting older, they were still at the top of their game, which is why the Spurs were still winning games and contending for championships. But I mean, time flies when you're having fun. You know, it changes when you get older to the point where eventually you lose your passion when your childhood team isn't good anymore, and the sport you love changes, and there's no longer what it used to be when you were little, to the point where you kind of want to find better priorities, but yet we'll only watch every now and then. And that leads me into the next topic. How about North Wilkesboro returning to NASCAR? I would love to see it get a points-paying race on the schedule every year again. But hey, it's going to bring back the All-Star Race to North Carolina, even though it's not going to be in Charlotte. Now, I know Austin won the Firecracker Pepsi 400 a couple weeks ago, my mom's birthday weekend. So that means he is locked in. And with how many winners we've had this weekend, with Bubba winning the Banquet 400 at Kansas yesterday afternoon, we might not need a Winston Open, because there's not going to be enough people to run the Winston Open because of how many fucking winners there are, because of the fact that there's so many people going to be in the main Winston All-Star Race at North Wilkesboro. Now, the motto nowadays, not the current version of me would do compared to the younger teen version of me on Lenore and Sanders. Normally, he would never be in this version of me, right? You're seeing right here before you in real time, would never be in the house when, the weather's nice. Currently, unfortunately, it's not very nice. It's like 69 degrees, and that's not my cup of tea. Well, here's the thing, though. When NASCAR raced at North Wilkesboro for points-paying races back in the day, I was either not alive, like I didn't exist, or was just a baby when they raced there full-time. So even if the weather's nice, unless I get invited to a birthday party or something for an All-Star Day of the All-Star Race like I was this year at Josh's party, if you want to go look at that video, link is in the description. Unless I get something invited to nothing more important, then you best bet your ass I will be watching that Winston All-Star Race at North Wilkesboro, just to see what it was like back in the day when they did race there, when I didn't exist and was just a baby. I am so glad that, Texas Motor Speedway lost that fucking day. I know they're still going to have the Dickies 500, and sadly, as much as we want it to go away forever, it's never going to go away, because NASCAR doesn't own it, SMI does. The only way it kind of makes SMI, make the choice to get rid of it is because if the track killer wins there, Alex Bowman. So maybe the track killer himself, Alex Bowman, will actually win the Dickies 500 in a couple of weeks. That way, that doesn't matter what SMI thinks. That track will hopefully go away forever if Alex Bowman wins there. Because if Bowman wins there, SMI is not going to have a choice to eliminate that hunk of junk off the schedule. But we'll have to see, because like I said, I don't care if he wins that race or if Austin or Ty win that race, even though the last Texas race I watched was the 2020 Samsung Radio Shack 500 and Austin won when I was taking a break from YouTube. I don't care if the weather's crummy and I can't go outside, or if I have to sit around the house and do nothing all day, or just sleep all day, or just be a lazy bum. I will not watch the fucking points-paying race at Texas Motor Speedway. No siree. But North Wilkesboro, yeah, I didn't think it was going to reopen when I was younger, when I figured out what it was. But as I got older, I wanted to see it come back, just to see the current version of me, to see what it was like when I didn't exist back in the day, when I was a baby. So I wanted to go. Now I get to see what it was like. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens. Like, there's going to be so many people in the Winston All-Star Race, as I've mentioned. I know I said this already, but the thing is, because of that, we might not need a Winston Open because of it, because there's not going to be too many competitive cars in the Winston Open to get into the Winston All-Star Race. So we're going to have to see come May 2023 what's going to happen. So I'm going to end this right here. So happy Jeremy Mayfield 19th birthday once again to Brynnley, my best friend, Brynnley Kerr. We got Poker Game Night episode 5 this Saturday. We still have lots of adventures in autumn to go, and my grandmother being in the hospital was why I didn't get to go to Maddie Hudak's party. So my apologies to Maddie Hudak. It was just my family needed me when it mattered the most. So have a good night tonight. and a better day tomorrow. Life will give you a lot of lows, but when you hit a high, enjoy it. It ain't for the weak. Goddamn, pace yourself, bring your ass, be you. You have to try harder to do less. You can't deport a dream. Sometimes the worst things in life lead to the best things. Always bet on the side of love. You got to check yourself before you wreck yourself. Sometimes you just got to be present. You never fail until you stop trying. It never pays to worry too much about things. We're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time. It's never too late to turn the day around. Another day on time, another day to shine. Take care, everyone. Good night, and I will see you all for the next video, whenever that may be. But if you don't see any videos this coming week, I mean, you'll know why, because my family needs me. But we should be good to... This past week was a roller coaster. It was like up and down, 50% good things, 50% bad things. But starting today, it's a new week. It's going to be much better for us. We got Poker Game Night episode 5 this Saturday to wrap it all up. And, instead of the Sharpie 500 Sunday, we're probably gonna watch, that episode of Bunked. I think the Bill Elliott installment, which is what we missed the day of the Corn Fest. So, see you later, everyone.